Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Today's topic is going to be a very, very exploratively interesting one. It's crossing the line, personal and professional acts of betrayal. I'm Caroline HEWARD. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. I'm a TV presenter and the resident therapist on USA Global TV and Radio. A very, very warm welcome to all of our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV. Hello to all of our usual social media platforms and our followers on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and X. I'm joined today by our resident and full-time panelist, Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. She comes all the way from Canada. She is a TV presenter. She is an author, bilingual self-help books. She's a registered nurse. She is a holistic nurse. She's an intuitive and spiritual healer. She invented Miracle Mist, which is patent pending. She is an advocate for free rights. Please welcome Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES, all the way from Canada.
Thank you very much, Caroline.
And it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you.
Yes, it's so nice to see you. Very nice.
So please do, especially for our viewers that don't know you and are here for the first time, because we are now over 100,000 subscribers. Dr. Jacqueline has been awarded the Silver Creator Award with over 100,000 subscribers. And I know that that's even more. I'm not quite sure what the figure is now because I forgot to ask Dr. Jacqueline before we began the show. But this is tremendous. It is the Silver YouTube Award. So we have more people here than perhaps we might have done when we first started introducing ourselves. So please do tell our viewers who are here on the live or the replay a little bit about what you do and what value you bring to your clients.
Well, what I do is that I am a healer. I have been a healer for pretty much all my life. I am a registered nurse. I retired, but registered nurse never retired. I am the author of those books, 111 Reflection for Thy Earth Odyssey. I have Tome 1, Tome 2, Tome 3 is coming. They are now available in English and French on Amazon.com and Canada. They will be in Europe. Very soon, I am going to host a French show for Global TV and Radio. So it will be really fun and very interesting. And I am an advocate for free rights. We have a lot of people that immigrate to Canada, and I do help them. So I do seek with their wellness, their personal wellness, their professional wellness, and actually I want them for their psychological wellness also. So I do help them adapt to our country. I see people with Zoom and walk-in. So that is pretty much what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And that's really exciting that you're doing a show in French. Wow, that's very, very exciting because you are a native French speaker, aren't you? That's wonderful. Well, congratulations on that. I'm really, really happy to hear that news. Wonderful.
Thank you.
So for me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert. I also provide lunch and learn educational talks to corporate organisations. That is both online and face-to-face, wherever they are, if it's online, in the world, globally. I help people bust their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy. So whatever it is they're complaining about, so if they're not sleeping, if they have a physical ache and pain, if they have a regular relationship issue, if there is a regular issue within their lives that keeps repeating, so they're repeating patterns, I help you break through and identify from your blueprint what's creating that repeating cycle that manifests in your life, either behaviorally, physically, mentally, or emotionally. I help you move from that stressful repeating pattern to a place of inner peace and inner calm, where you will be able to release the emotion from that initial event, that initial trauma, where you feel relieved and you feel at peace. I certainly can guarantee an incredible and deep restful sleep after the session with me. And I also here on this channel, as I mentioned earlier, I'm the resident therapist, and I also am a Talking Heads expert, and I have a Talking Heads episode this Thursday. That's at 4 p.m. British Summer Time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So let's get into the topic. Betrayal. Betrayal is a really interesting word. Crossing the line, personal and professional acts of betrayal. There are many forms of betrayal, and I decided to look at today personal and professional because it's such a massive topic. There are many types of betrayal in all sorts of aspects, but I felt that it was good to focus on two main aspects. It's a breach in trust, and it carries a huge weight. When we explore betrayal in this show, from broken promises in families, in romantic relationships, to deception in the workplace, betrayal often leaves. It's when it's least expected. What happens when we are betrayed, when somebody crosses the line? How do we rebuild the trust and love and move into a place where we move forward? Betrayal of trusted relationships, family, romantic, friendships, emotional, the emotional aftermath. Let's look at betrayal. What does betrayal mean to you personally, Reverend Lydia?
Betrayal means to me hurt. It means also lies and deception. It means a lot, actually, because we can be betrayed by many people, and either in our life or just professionally, we can be betrayed many times. Actually, we learn from betrayal, that is for sure, but sometimes we lose a lot of money from betrayal. But I do have a quote in my kitchen, and it says, I never repeat gossip, so please listen this time. So that is a quote that I have on a board that makes people think that gossip is betrayal, that all those things that people say, and when you are trusting a person and you tell them something and they betray you, well, it is not only an act that hurts, it's also something that goes far beyond, because you cannot trust anymore. You are afraid of trusting. So when you actually start being afraid of trusting people, your life changes. And nothing is ever the same after being betrayed. So when you fight for trust, it's difficult because you start as a person, as a trusting person. I am a person that starts with the person trusting them. I trust them to start with. I have that kind of mentality. I trust them. But then if they betray me, it is over for me. I can never trust them again. So it is that way. And it's pretty much the same thing for everyone. If they're betrayed by a person or a group, they will never trust again. It is the same thing in a couple, and it is the same thing in a professional life. If someone is betrayed, they are hurt, they lose. They lose a lot also. And some hate after a betrayal, which does not help at all. But they do.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. I was nodding in the background as you were saying all the things that you were, because yes, it does hurt. And you're absolutely right. Trust is a huge thing in a betrayal, that when somebody betrays you, the trust goes, and you may feel uncomfortable or a difficulty in trusting someone else. And that certainly is something for me. When I think about betrayal, I consider trust as one of the major issues. Can I trust that person again? Would I go there again? And in personal relationships, when that's happened to me, and when I was 17, my very first main boyfriend, I was with him from 14 and a half to 17, cheated on me. He went out with my best friend at school, who I'd known ever since I was 5, and even presented her to my mum while she was working, saying, well, I wouldn't mind because we were best friends and I wanted him to get on with my best friends, but they were definitely seeing each other. And that was very difficult for me. And so I lost my boyfriend of 2.5 years. I lost my best friend, and I also lost another best friend as well, who I found out later on was also trying to take him from me and making irresistible offers to him. So my trust went, and I didn't want to be with anyone for a long time because I felt it very difficult to trust again. And I felt that that was a huge betrayal, not from all the close people that I was really close to, two best friends and my then boyfriend. And it was very difficult. I never got over it. And I never went back with him, even though I really loved him. I didn't go back because that word, trust, it had gone. And even though I really loved him, I couldn't trust him again. So I wouldn't take him back. No matter how I felt, I wouldn't take him back. What are your thoughts about what I've just shared, Reverend Lydia?
Well, it is a very sad story because my heart goes out to you. I have not lived that kind of betrayal, and I do understand it from your point of view. I do understand it very much. My first real relationship, was for 23 years, and after that for 10 years. So I was in some kind of stable relationships. I was the lucky one that had no betrayal. So I understand those that have been betrayed because I saw betrayal around me. And maybe that is why because I saw so many betrayals in couples around me that I decided that I would not be like that. I decided that I wanted stable relationships and never to betray. And I chose someone that would not betray me. And yes, there were problems because I did divorce. I did have 2 divorces, so that means there were problems, but not betrayals. But when you think about that, when there is
sorry, why do you think that it's worse when somebody betrays you that's close to you rather than a stranger?
Actually, it is worse because that person, you trust that person with all your heart. You really do trust that person. What is your spouse or your boyfriend? You trust that person. You confide in that person. You say everything to that person. That person is your boyfriend, your spouse, your friend, everything to you. So if that person betrays you, it hurts so much. I saw my friends being betrayed by their boyfriends. I saw my brothers being betrayed, and I always thought that looked so terrible, so very terrible. And the fact is that the trust cannot be gained again. And after that, they have trouble trusting again. You see what happened to you? You were not even able to trust after that. It took you years and years and years to trust. So the effect of betrayal is very, very considerate. The thing is that there is a lot to think about. When someone betrays someone, they have to think, what am I doing to that person? What will be the after effects of what I am doing to that person? Is it just a betrayal, or what am I doing? Because a betrayal is worse than anything. Because the thing is that when you trust a person, you're not supposed to ask yourself at night, am I going to be betrayed today? Because when you have a partner, you wake up in the morning, you choose that partner that day, and you go back to bed at night and you still choose that partner. And you do that day after day after day. So you're not supposed to betray because you choose that person every single day. So because there are so many people on earth, but when you love, you are supposed to be able to contain yourself. You are supposed to be true. And if you're not able to be true to the person you love, how can you be true to yourself? That is it. If you can betray the person you love, what kind of a person are you? That is it. If you can just betray like that, either someone you love or you can betray someone financially, how can you look at yourself in the mirror and sleep at night? Because that is it. You have to go to bed and ask yourself, what kind of a day did I have? Was it a day where I did something right, or was it a day of lie? So if it was a day of lie, you have to correct whatever you did or you're thinking of doing. That is it. If you are actually thinking that you want to betray, think twice. That is important. Think twice because there's lots to it.
There certainly is, Reverend Lydia. This is a very heavy topic, and we are already halfway through our show. Can you believe that? We are already 20 minutes into our show. So we're just about to go over to a short commercial break. But when we come back, we will continue this exploration with how do you get over a betrayal? Is it possible to get over a betrayal? Please come back. We welcome you back after our short break. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, and I look forward to seeing you very shortly after the break.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to tracycramperkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello and welcome back to A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. We have been exploring crossing the line, personal and professional acts of betrayal. We have been exploring this with our resident and full-time panelist, Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES. Please welcome back Reverend LYDIA FOUGERES so that we can continue this exploration. Welcome back, Reverend. Whether you're watching on the live or the replay, welcome back to all of our viewers. So as we left before the break, the question that I asked was, do you ever feel that you recover or just learn to live with betrayal? What are your thoughts on this, Reverend LYDIA?
It depends on the betrayal. It all depends on the betrayal. You see, I am in the midst of having been betrayed financially, and it is extremely difficult for me to trust again. I am a very patient person, so I do not have scenes, but it is difficult for me to trust the people that actually have betrayed me financially. So what I do, it's day after day after day, I tell myself that they will improve and they will try to walk the line again, that they will try to walk in the light again. But when we stop and think, and we have to fight for every right that we have bought when we have planned something financially with a group or whatever. I am talking of marketing. So when we have planned something and it is supposed to happen and nothing happens, the thing is that we are betrayed. And it is difficult after that. It's like falling from a train. You fall from the train. It's very difficult to get back on the train. You are hurt. You have some bumps, and the persons or the people, because there are groups, there are professionals of that. There are people that scam others every single day. That is their work. So when you actually are betrayed financially or emotionally, I would say that trusting is extremely difficult, and not losing it is even more difficult, because we have to think instead of being angry. We have to act instead of react, which is extremely important. When we actually act with patience, we get results. If we react to their actions, well, we have no results at all, because all they can say is that we are just, we're just crazy. That is all. They will say, you know, oh, I cannot work with that person. That person is crazy. But when you actually are with a person that actually stays calm in a betrayal, that is worse, because the person stays calm in whatever betrayal, and staying calm in the betrayal is worse for the person that actually betrays, because they want the person that is betrayed to react, because it's easier for them, a lot easier for them, because they want to be able to justify their betrayal. They want to be able to justify that they cannot work with that person because that person is a basket case. That is the way they want the person that is betrayed to act. So they want them to lose it. So when we do not lose it, when we stay calm, when we explain, and when we explain to those around us with calm what has happened to us, because we owe it to others to tell that we have been betrayed, and we can explain, does not mean that you will be betrayed, but I am telling you that I have been betrayed and others have been betrayed by such and such group, because we cannot let that happen.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. You bring up an interesting topic here about betrayal of others. And my question, I feel, is being answered here, that if you or someone else that you know have been betrayed, especially in a professional relationship. And I had such an instance with someone that I partnered, a company that I partnered up with, quite a long time ago when I first started out. And they were really helpful in helping me create and productize what I do. And they spent a lot of time with me in helping me put systems in place. And I thought they were amazing. And then they sold me my consultancy on through their company. And I did have a couple of clients through them. And so I paid my Harley Street fees, and I didn't get any money for 6 months. And it took me 6 months, and they were almost saying that they didn't owe me anything, which was a very difficult situation. Now, I was warned by someone else who I was very close to. And because of the incredibly good relationship that I had with them, I wouldn't listen. And this is something that is interesting for me, because I based it on my experience of that relationship. But I didn't base it on the other person's experience of their relationship with many others. And it wasn't a monetary situation that I was basing the trust on. It was a sharing of skills. And so when it became a monetary situation, I didn't get paid. And I basically had to twist their arm and just keep harassing them for about 3 months, almost every day. And then I finally got paid, and I never did anything else again with them. And I felt very sad about that experience because I was warned. I got a lot from that, and at the same time, I lost a lot from that, because there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, and there was a lot of trust. There was a huge betrayal in that professional relationship. So if that has happened and I didn't listen, and that's the thing, you know, that if you have a good relationship, it's very difficult to listen and hear of somebody else's misfortune or when something doesn't work. But when you know somebody's being betrayed, certainly with contracts, or they've not delivered upon something, what are your thoughts on that? Even though that person has a really good relationship, what are your thoughts in terms of how would you approach that to, for want of a better phrase, tell this person that's entered into this business arrangement about your experience or your knowledge of others' experiences? Would you keep quiet? Would you not say anything? Would you just not enter into that relationship? Or would you find some time to take them aside and have a conversation? What are your thoughts?
I would not keep quiet. I would not. Actually, why are whistleblowers so difficult to find? Because they are scared. I'm the kind of person, I am not scared of the truth. If someone is to scam someone, I will help that person for them not to be scammed. That is why we should admire whistleblowers. We actually should really admire them because they have the guts to say what is wrong, and they have trouble. So if we do not want to be a whistleblower, well, we're not worth it. We are participating in the scam if we are not doing anything. That is the least that we could do, is to try to explain to the person what we went through and say, I do not know if you will go through the same thing as me, but it is the way it happened for me, and it is the way it happened for others. If you want examples, we can get in touch with others who have been victims also. So that is the way we should act, because sometimes there has to be an end. We cannot let someone scam over and over and over again. There has to be an end. So someone has to have the guts to say, I am the one who is putting an end to that scam. That is all. And it takes a lot of courage, because we can lose a lot of friends. We can lose a lot. But in the end, at the end of the day, yes, we can lose friends, but we gain self-respect. I do not mind losing friends to gain my self-respect. That is the way I think.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Dr. Jacqueline, who's behind the scenes, our wonderful president and executive producer behind the scenes, is saying that there are comments that people are leaving. We're obviously touching some very raw subjects here of things that happen to other people. This is something that does happen. It's not that it doesn't happen. And we're talking about something that's an exploration of, how do we professionally handle this? What do we do? And one of my things is to go quiet to begin with. One of the other things is to wrangle with my own inner peace to say, do I say something? When do I say it? Do I just blurt it out? Do I pull them to one side? And so this is a really good exploration, Reverend Lydia, because when you know something about someone or a company, it's very difficult. And, the term that you've used is whistleblower. It sounds like an easy term, but a whistleblower is going to alienate people. They are going to lose friends. They're going to lose status, and they are going to be judged because not everybody sees the betrayal. One of the things that I wanted to touch upon is companies, and very recently, in our recent last few years, there have been many companies that have gone away. They've not been able to cope with the rising costs of being in business, and they've not been able to pay their staff, and they've had to end the company, and it's gone into liquidation. And I have seen, even in this past 6 months to a year, companies where employees have been there for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and then they're just told, sorry, we've gone bust, the gates are closed. And I feel that is a huge betrayal. And I've seen reports on the news of the shock of the employees saying, you know, well, we didn't do anything wrong. We've been faithful to that company. We've given them the best years of our lives, and the pension has gone. Their whole livelihood has gone. And it was some of those occurrences have been just prior to the festive season, just prior to Christmas in the early December. What are your thoughts about that? Because that's a company betrayal of trust, where employees have stayed with them. They've given them everything, and yet that betrayal is they landed up with nothing. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, first of all, a company that goes bankrupt, they take the heads, they do take their money first. They start by paying themselves. They take their money, they save their money, and then they go bankrupt, and they do not think about the ones that actually invested an entire life or their life savings. So that is what happens when a company goes bankrupt. That the ones that are at the head of the company, they actually take as much as they can, and they forget about the employees. They do not care. As long as they are paid, as long as they take their profit. So we have experts in bankruptcy that they go bankrupt and bankrupt and bankrupt and do not care. And the only thing that happens to them is that they get richer and richer and richer because they protect their investment elsewhere by changing the name, by doing things that are off limits. So they are not like the employees that cannot do such things. The employees, they cannot have bank accounts in the Canary Islands. They cannot do that. They cannot put their money in the Bahamas. So you have those companies that go bankrupt, but they're not bankrupt. They're just corrupt. That is the way I see it. There's a difference between being bankrupt and being corrupt.
I'm laughing in the background, not laughing, you know, sort of heinously. I'm actually laughing because, yes, the word is corrupt. And we get into that, we condone, if we go along with it, that it is okay. But, you know, you bring up a very valid point about companies, the people that head up the companies, the board. What they will do is always take their money, and it's the employees and the trustees, if it's a very large company, that fall short of being paid and being looked after. But yes, we are almost at the end of our show, and there is so much to talk about on this topic. I do feel that if we would come back again with this topic and just look at some of the other angles of betrayal, because this is definitely something that happens in our world today, especially in our estranged times and our changed times. And I'd like to, you know, explore the effects of, is AI causing a betrayal to employees in our next segment when we come back and look at further acts of betrayal in companies and in families. Well, thank you very much, Reverend Lydia. This has been a very interesting and deep, insightful exploration. Please do share with our viewers how they can best reach you and what the best way to contact you is.
Okay. People can reach me in Canada at 1-514-582-6882. I answer all the time. There is no problem. I am Eastern Time in Canada. I also have my books, 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey, tomes 1 and 2 on Amazon. They are available in English, and they are now available in French. They are now being translated in Spanish also. So in 2 months, they will be available in Spanish. It is a journey of introspection. It is going to help you in your self-help journey. It will really help you. I also do Zoom sessions, healing sessions. I do help people with their journey in their self-introspection. So I invite you to join me and or write to me at greatdivinemother@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And I certainly think that what you're doing is amazing in terms of translating into different languages. That means that what you're doing is reaching more people because not everybody is natively English speaking. So that's wonderful news. Congratulations on that. Absolutely amazing news. Well done. And for me, you can reach me on No More Stress at live.co.uk. Reach out and message me with what you need, and we can then start a conversation in terms of helping you bust your stress. So drop me a message on email or call me if you're international, +44. If you're local, 07523 120 189. Please follow me or message me on LinkedIn or Facebook, and the links are within the banners underneath here. That's great. Thank you, Dr. Jacqueline. And thank you, Dr. Jacqueline, for all the whizzy effects underneath. Our wonderful, esteemed producer, owner, president, and extraordinaire founder of USA Global TV. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, for your incredible and insightful shares and your insightful ways of looking at betrayal. Our main founder, Dr. Jacqueline, she is the Chief Listening Officer. She's executive producer of USA Global TV and Radio, and she has been awarded, yes, awarded the Silver Creator Award for having over 103, she gave me the exact figure, over 103,000 YouTube subscribers. Wow, that's amazing, Dr. Jacqueline. I am so proud and honoured and feel like I've been part of this journey since 7/7/21, so almost 4 years. And today I particularly celebrate the fact that I became mortgage free 2 years ago today, and I was on the channel at the time and took a couple of weeks break while I sorted out my broadband. It has been an incredible show, everybody. I really look forward to seeing you again next week. That's on Monday, Eastern Time, 2 p.m, which is British summertime, 7 p.m. It's been an incredible exploration. Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, for all of your insightful shares. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you to all of our subscribers. Please do, if you haven't, subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. We are rocking it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations again, Dr. Jacqueline. This is an amazing honour to be on this channel. Well done. And it's such an honour to be here and be part of this wonderful journey. Bye-bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you next week on Monday. And now over to our sponsors.
From the magical world of the amazing adventures of Lady Ella comes a heartwarming new journey filled with kindness, courage, and compassion. Lady Ella, the beloved ladybug and listening mentor, is back, and this time she is not alone. Meet her brave and thoughtful brother, Lord Jack. Together, they take flight on their very first kindness adventure. Along the way, they meet 3 new friends in need: a duck feeling discouraged, a mouse struggling to be understood, and a busy little bee who's completely lost. But with the power of elevated listening and simple acts of kindness, Lady Ella and Lord Jack show us how understanding and empathy can make the biggest difference in someone's day. Written by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, the listening mentor, this 9th book in the best-selling Lady Ella series teaches children ages 5 to 10 the essential skills of listening, kindness, and etiquette. Now available for pre-order on Amazon. Scan the QR code and order your copy today.
Conveniently located in the Cherry Hill Mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Avio Art specializes in custom art and photography printing. From museum-quality canvas prints and stretching to photo restoration, fine art reproduction, and framing with museum-grade glass, every service is completed in-house with exceptional attention to detail. Visit avioart.com or email support@avioart.com. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents The Corner Bookstore, hosted by Red O'Loughlin. Step into a world where every story inspires. These pages come to life through the voices of authors from around the globe. Written by our global community of TV show hosts and best-selling authors, these works span genres, generations, and geographies, united by the power of storytelling. Discover your next favorite book and meet the minds behind the work. Thursdays, only on USA Global TV and Radio.
USA Global TV and Radio, home of the YouTube Silver Creator Award, proudly presents Just the Thing for Your Ring, introducing the patented Ring Thing. Your premium personal ring holder to keep your ring safe, nearby, and avoid loss.
The Ring Thing just got smarter. Add your logo and an NFC tag that opens to your website with one tap. Waterproof, inner padding, and now a forever business card.
Just the thing for your ring. Scan the QR code seen here to learn more about Ring Thing or place your order. Follow Ring Thing on Instagram at ring_thing_ or go to our website ringthing.com.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host, and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur, or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming, and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multi-dimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art which I've named Multidimensional Subliminal Freeform Art to the World, as only 3% recover from what I experienced, and now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.